You are live. Yay. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Settle in. Get a cup of coffee, a tea. Lay in bed. Lay in the sun. Walk. But I am happy to be here with you guys. Welcome to another episode of Untangled. We're on episode 63. I apologize for my hair. I think I'm always apologizing for my hair. It's always a mess. It's a beautiful mess. It's life. Isn't this what life is all about? Oh, welcome to the human journey. Thank you for being here. We've got some crazy algorithms with YouTube, like all social media. So if you can like this video, thank you, thank you. I would appreciate it. If you can subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. Yeah, let's dive in. Oh, before I dive into life being messy and beautiful and profound and magical and just what we are doing here on this planet, um two quick reminders or two quick I don't know, what is it, updates or whatever. The first one is that my Align class starts tomorrow, Align 4.0, and it's a 21-day intensive. It's changed my life. It's changed a lot of other people's lives. And it's where we just sit every day for 21 days, 30 minutes, and we're just present. We're just with ourselves and with the thoughts that move through the mind and the emotions that move through the body, and recognizing that the greatest gift that we can give ourselves is presence and not running from life. Not running from the powerful thoughts in your head, recognizing the profound, humble intensity of thought, um, standing in the fire of emotion, and really recognizing, and more than anything, remembering that there is nothing to run from. And the more that we are able to be in life with anything that gets thrown at us and also thrown in with us, the more we become these kind of masters of both awareness as who we are at the core and the identified human that's the character playing out, and being able to blend those two in a very profound mastery. That's what we're doing here. And so Align 4.0, which starts tomorrow, helps us just simply be in life without fixing, without trying to necessarily find solutions and answers to everything. It's the way back home. So anyway, the link is down below in the description box. I would love for you to join us. Um, it's all recorded, 10 a.m. California time every day. We have 5 bonus Q&As. And yeah, come join us. Sit with us. Be with us. Be with you. Be with you. And then the other thing is that I have an online community that I don't talk too much about, but the last month's online community through Patreon was really powerful. The energy update we did last week was really, really powerful. The channeled message with Marilyn Monroe was one of the most profound channelings I've ever done. The guided meditation was extremely grounding. And so if you are desiring to connect deeper into a community that is just simply unraveling their human, just humaning, join us. This month, we're going to be doing a guided meditation on the 7th, channeled message. We'll see who comes through. A group coaching call where I bring people up on screen and answer their questions. A Q&A and an energy update. We do a lot. We do a lot. You can always just check it out for a month and hightail it out of there. But yeah, I encourage you and invite you to join us for a little while. All right, where do we start? Holy Moses. Where do we begin? Um, one of the reasons I started Untangled and I am sticking to Untangled and doing it as often as I can, trying to every week. It's because I believe that there is nothing more important, nothing more important than untangling all the ways in which we have been programmed to be on this planet. True, deep, deep suffering, what you and I experience as suffering, is arguing against what is. And the reason we argue against what is because we don't feel safe feeling. We don't feel safe being in this world. Um, And so we numb and we escape and we run and we find other people to, make us feel better. We find abundance in financial ways to make us feel better. We are distracted by all of the external stories of all the stuff that's happening out there. And your internal world and my internal world is going to continue to get louder and louder and louder. It's calling you back in. It's calling us back in. Yesterday I was sitting, I don't know if you don't know, I wrote a book. It's called The Divine Design. And it's very different. It's about the history of Earth and the history of humanity. And it's a pretty profound quantum book. It's about y- higher dimensional beings. It's about um, the reptilians coming in. It's about us being in a 5D dimensional field millions of years ago. It's about how we fell from the 5D into the 3D. It's about how we're moving out of that 3D field. Um, it's about the calls that went out for souls to come in and do the work that you and I are doing right now. Thanks, Paula, my love. Um, and yesterday I was sitting in my living room, not my living room, in my office, and I just got such a strong call to focus back in on the book, teach the book more, talk about the book more. And I was conversing with my guides and I said, but why? Like, to me, the most important piece is the inner work. The most important piece to me is not running from anything and feeling everything and being so deeply present that you realize that everything else kind of just dissolves and goes away. A deep, deep trust in what is unraveling in your world, that there is this profound canvas that's being painted right now for you, by you. Nothing is a mistake or an accident. Everything is happening exactly the way it's designed to happen, right? So I've been on that train for a while. That's why I'm doing a line again. And my guide said, yes, 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 but the history of what humanity has gone through and the profound miracle of this life is important to discuss. It's important to awaken those kind of cellular memories, right? That there is thank you, Martin, for the super chat. Really appreciate it. That there is a deep, deep, that this is an experiment, that this is a creation that Earth as a consciousness created, that everything we see is held within what has been called a 12th dimensional grid, that everything has been agreed upon, that, um, there have been moments in our planetary history as humanity, as humans, where we've incarnated in order to energetically raise the vibration of the planet. Um, that the physical body was and is designed by higher dimensional beings. This body is not just like haphazardly created through what we call DNA. It's what is DNA? DNA is light. Well, what's light? Light's information. What's information? Information is what creates each cell that then creates the physical form. And something bigger than just mm, God, meaning that there was a deeper intention than just this omnipresent God that said, create, create the trees, create the physical body, create fish. Like this was a much more divinely designed architecture than just this omnipresent God that came in and said, let there be light. And then there was a planet, and then there was a solar system, and then there was, these things that were living on the planet. This was all designed, all of it. The human body is divinely designed to hold consciousness excellently, right? Like there's no mistake in this. It's the physical body is designed to be able to evolve, which means that the physical body is designed to be able to hold more and more frequency. And there are all of these other higher dimensional beings that are participating and have been and you know all this information is fabulous and it's great, right? But like I was saying on Instagram just now, and I love to dissect it and go into it even though I don't very much. I will more and more. But when you're in pain, when you're in suffering, when you're in fear, when you're in lack, when you're in stress, when you're in anxiety, you know, it doesn't matter how the human body's designed. It doesn't matter if there's higher dimensional beings coming in and checking us out. It doesn't matter if, we're being poisoned. None of that matters, right? Like when you are in your deepest states of emotional distress, you're not thinking to yourself, shit, I better go get cleaner water. You're trying to get through what you're experiencing in the body, right? You're not saying like, oh, let me go watch another YouTube video on, how the government's stealing my identity. It's like, oh shit, let me sit with what I'm experiencing. And I don't know about you, but the more that you can, and the more that I am able to sit with what's arising, the more powerful I become. To me, the knowledge that of whatever's arising on the planet, that isn't making me more powerful. That just perpetuates a wheel of information, but I'm never getting off that wheel. You see, I can watch as many videos as I need. I can gain as much knowledge as I want. But when my internal world gets shattered, when my external world, like the way I want things to go, breaks up, right? All of a sudden, I lose a friendship or a partnership, or I lose money, or I lose a job, or I lose my house, or somebody dies, or whatever it is. How am I in that moment? What do I do in that moment? You see, that is the evolution. That's the empowerment. That's the power. That is the gift. That is what truly matters. Everything else is just sort of like books on a bookshelf that you can look at and it can entertain you and can remind you of things and activate cellular memories perhaps, and whatever it's doing. But if you're not able to be with you, really be with the you that experiences energies called emotions, be with the fear that you are so afraid of, be with the anxiety that you think you are and the stress that you think you are. Break down to the point where you're not sure you'll actually be able to physically stand back up and watch yourself stand. That's awakening. That is power. That's evolving. That's becoming new. That's stepping out of this perpetual wheel of entertainment. Entertain me, entertain me, entertain me. If I have this person, or if I have that, or if I at anything in the external world that can somehow distract me in some tiny way from actually just being with the loudest parts of the physical body, the loudest parts of my mind, the thoughts. When we actually recognize this and start doing this, thanks, Richard, for the super chat. Appreciate you. When we start doing this over and over and over, which is why it's all the only thing I'm talking about, even though my guides are like, Lori, start talking about the divine design. It's time. I literally wrote it down on my floor. It's like on this big white piece of paper. I was like, all right, I will. But if they're not feeling their emotions, what's the point? If they're still believing all their thoughts, what's the point? You guys, talk about the 12th dimensional grid. Ooh. Talk about, the different types of calls that went out. Talk about how the physical body was created. Talk about how emotion is created. It's talk about what happened. Like what's so profound about my book. I mean, there's a ton of things. If you haven't gotten the book, please go listen to it. It will change your life. Literally, you will say, "What in the WTF?" It's literally our story condensed into like, um, what's those books called that you would read in high school where you didn't have to read the book? Um, the audio is much easier. What are those? Cliff Notes. It's the history of Earth Cliff Note version. So it doesn't go into like all the details, but it's quite interesting. I think it's chapter 5 where you learn how the the society, the human the human species was designed and incarnated into a fifth dimensional field of existence. We actually lived in a fifth dimensional realm for millions of years. It's profound to think about. I mean, what that must have looked like and felt like, and then to have the remembrance of what happened to humanity. How did they drop back down into a lower dimensional realm? And to wrap your head around that. And I think the reason that is so important to talk about is because it's what we're doing now, but in reverse, right? So it's all about choice. It's about awareness. It's about understanding the quantum field. It's about understanding dimensional fields. Um, and we can get caught in all the details of like what alien races came in and, you know, all that other stuff, but the foundation is the same, you know. Um, the choices that the human character makes in terms of how they he or she wants to be on this planet and how that impacts the rest of humanity and how that impacts the planet. Because every single human body's frequency impacts everybody else's frequency as one human collective, which then impacts the planet. And the other really interesting thing, I don't know what chapter this was in, but it talks about how about 6,000 years ago, give or take, um, humanity was in a pretty high vibrational frequency, similar to where we are now. Believe it or not, we're in a much higher frequency as a collective. Doesn't seem like that, but we actually are. And like, apparently, I'm going to be talking about the book right now. Um, as there is a large percentage of the human collective that frequency body's frequency was in a pretty high state, and they were able to communicate with higher dimensional beings. And higher dimensional beings were actually physically coming down onto the planet and helping these uh, humans, large percentage of humans, um, continue to evolve, continue to step into these higher frequencies in the physical body. And that's when you see all of these um, structures and all of these civilizations that were around, the Egyptians and the pyramids and the Mayans and Machu Picchu and all of these areas that were created in a time where they just didn't have the tools to create it because they were not only in a higher dimensional frequency themselves, so they could anchor higher frequencies, have access to things that we don't all have access to right now, but they were also they also were getting assistance from higher dimensional beings. Um, and you could say there's a parallel happening right now, right? That um, humanity is starting to the human body is starting to hold more and more frequency, and you know, uh, we are probably getting help from higher dimensional beings, but not in the same way. They are not coming down in that same physical way right now. But the trajectory is upward or higher frequency over and over and over again. So we're continuing to raise our frequency of the body's frequency. Um, and that I think that's the other distinction that really should be made here is that this isn't about you as consciousness evolving into higher frequencies. That's one of the biggest misconceptions that I'm shocked about, that people think that it's us. I am evolving, or I am shifting, or I am ascending. No, it's your body. It's your body that's shifting or ascending, not you as consciousness. And I think that's important to point out, because one of the reasons why sitting in the daily practice of awareness, of beingness, of presence is so powerful. And I think it needs to go hand in hand with all of the other things that I speak about in my book and that come up around what's happening on the planet, is that in presence, in absolute presence, you recognize who you actually are, right? That you are awareness, that you are God or spirit. And you tap into that, you feel that, you remember that, you access that. And when you access that, you then realize, holy shit, I'm not the body. I'm not emotions. I'm not thoughts. Like, wow, I'm freaking free. I'm free. I'm in this experience. I'm experiencing this human character called Lori. She's a badass. She's doing great. Wow, she's really in that character as Lori. But who is Lori? Like, I was talking to someone the other night and I said, you can't separate spirit and Lori, right? Like, I can't take I can't take spirit that's in my body, God, whatever, consciousness, awareness, and pull it away from Lori. Oh, here's Lori and here's spirit. It doesn't work. It's all just spirit. It's either spirit or physicality, meaning the physical body, right? And then there's the emotions that move through the physical body. And then there's this identification that happens through the experience of being human, where spirit is going on a ride, awareness is going on a ride in a physical reality where the body is told you are dot dot dot. Your name is Bridget. Your name is Loretta. Your name is Wally. Your name is Heidi. And then all of a sudden, this spirit is encapsulated in this physical form, and there's all these structures that start to be created in order for the character to start playing the game. So a character is built. A character is built on the programs and the ways in which this third dimensional physical world exists. But you can't separate and divide. There aren't two spirits. There's only spirit. There's just the spirit of you, absolute God. Everything else is a character that was created through programming, structures, systems, mind, thought. And that's a profound awareness to have. It's a profound awareness to recognize that. And that's really a huge part of what this evolution is, what moving into a new world is, what moving into a fifth dimensional awareness is. Fifth dimensional awareness, or the fifth dimensional realm field, is not about love and light. It's about recognizing that you've been playing a character. Thank you, Steve. And that you are absolute God consciousness in physical form, and embodying that, breathing that, living that, while you also play a character. And you start recognizing the difference, and you start watching the dance. The dance between the character, sovereign rising woman, Eve, beautiful truth, rise and shine, right? That beautiful character and the actual essence of who you are. That's the awakening. That's the evolution. That's the ascension. Not, I need to bring myself into specific frequencies and vibrations. I need to change thought. I need to change emotion. You understand the I that thinks it needs to do that is not spirit. It's not God, awareness, consciousness. It's the structures that have been built through these programs and paradigms that are in a third dimensional realm. It's the illusion. So when you say to yourself, this isn't okay, that's the structure. You can call it an ego structure. It doesn't matter what you label it. It's still not divine essence. It's not your absolute beautiful light that it is shining out with every breath you take, in every moment. And it's not that we're here to disidentify with the character. My God, I love my character of Lori, right? And Patricia and Susan and Judy and Susie. It's like, yay, what character am I playing? How do I play it out? What clothes does she wear? How does she respond? How does she react? What kind of friendships and relationships does she have? Does she get her hair done? Does she do her nails? Like, what does she eat? Like, yeah, juicy character. But you're a character. You're playing. There's a structure. Thanks, Savage Dad Dojo. Appreciate that. There's structures that have been created the moment you opened your eyes as a newborn. And those structures say to you, or tell you, Feel this, don't feel that. Change this, fix this. This is good, this is bad. And when you jump into a process of awakening, um, you start to turn on the projector turns on, right? And then all of a sudden you're watching yourself in ways that you never have before, and you're critiquing, and you're trying to perfect, or you're trying to get better, or you're trying to move into some frequency, or you're trying to heal yourself, or you're trying to um, manifest the life you want, or all these things we start to see brighter and brighter through this projection, the projector. Thank you, Sun Hero, for the super chat. And it's a profound moment when you really start opening your eyes and awakening. And this profound awakening is not about the external things that you see. Those are actually much easier to kind of watch and experience. Thank you for the super chat, Mikey, and Thagori Nagungs. Thank you. It's a much more difficult, my friends, to sit with the deeper awareness that you're a character, a beautiful one, and uh, and that you are actually just spirit. Think about this throughout your day, like just contemplate this. Like, can I pull apart Bridget or Susie and my spirit, the spirit that I am? If I were to go in and open up my body, you couldn't even find spirit, right? But something leaves the body when it passes. When the body stops working, something leaves. Well, how do we know that? Because of near-death experiences. Okay, so we know something leaves the body, whatever that energy is. If you've ever sat with someone that passes, you can feel, a lot of times people can feel a light or something lifting out of the body, and then the body's just there. There's nothing there anymore. So some sort of energy or consciousness exists inside and exits out when the body stops working. Is that Lori? Is that Beautiful Truth? Is that Sovereign Rising Women? Is that Bridget? Is that Wally? Is that Karen? Or is that spirit? And there's only one. There's not multiple spirits in here. So who are you really when you're doing life? Who is the you that you think you are? Really? Think about all the emotions that you're feeling. And think about how I do the same thing. I'm identifying with these emotional states. I'm identifying with everything. You know, last night I was having a really tough conversation on the phone. Really intense, emotional, rough conversation. And at one moment, both of us just stopped and we were just like in presence. It was just this like beautiful presence that was always here between the conversation, between the pain or the suffering or the intense guttural restrictive states, right? Even in that flow of conversation, when we stopped, there was a presence that was there. And when we sat with that presence, everything else dissolved. And the paradox around that is that, you know, your spirit is always breathing life through you. Thank you, Earth Beams, for you. Your spirit is always one breath away. Your absolute essence, the part of you that knows you're none of it, the part of you that knows that it's safe to be in all of this, part of you that is like the laughing Buddha. It says, "What else, dear one, do you think you are? What else are you afraid of?" What else do you not feel safe being in, feeling? And that essence, which is what we tap into in Align 4.0, so join us tomorrow. That essence is in presence, and it can be found in any moment. And everything else dissolves. The stories that we had in our heads in the conversation dissolved. And yet the stories are still there. The thoughts are still there. The deep program is still there. Whatever it is that me and this individual have to navigate or figure out, it's still there, right? Doesn't necessarily just magically disappear because you found and you're in presence. Although if you are constantly in presence, then yeah, it's gone. You know, there's nothing to do. You realize that whatever comes and goes, presence is just consuming all of it without attaching to any of it. Thank you, Leslie, for that super chat. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Um, and then you can fall back into presence again. And so it's like, well, what is it? Is presence the absolute, or what do I do when I'm trying to navigate life and I'm trying to figure out what to do and what direction to take and what choices I have? And it's like that's all true, and yet presence is still right here. Presence still dissolves all the illusion, and I still have to navigate and go through the human journey. The character still has to play the game, right? The laughing Buddha to me represents when you realize that you're none of what you thought you are. When you have this profound moment of awakening. Let me know if you've had a moment like this. You start to freaking laugh because you're like, holy shit, I'm none of this. And there's this beautiful awareness that where laughter just arises. Lightness comes in because when we are really, 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 yeah, a lot of you guys have, when you're really identified as this character, right? As all the structures that you've been told that you are. So you're Janelle, your Candles in the Woods, your Audrey, right? Your Essa, your Mikey, your Lauren. You are that, and you are this and that and that. And then we have to fix and change and navigate and heal. And it's intense. It's so obnoxious and loud and efforting. And when you start dropping into awareness, when you start dropping into presence, if you're lucky enough to, you start to freaking laugh. You drop out of all of it. None of it matters. All the truth things that were, this whole idea of like what's coming next and what we have to prepare for and when you're in that deep awareness, the Buddha just laughs, right? You're just like, holy shit. God is so much bigger than all of this. God is in all of this, or essence is in all of this, or spirit is in all of this. And the paradox is you still have to be in this. You still have to walk down the street. You still have to make choices. You still have to play the game. You still have to play. You can't go to sleep. You can't hit time out. You can't put your little Monopoly car off to the side. It's like you're in the game of Monopoly. You start waking up to the notion of, oh my freaking God, I've been playing in this game as this character, like the train, right? The train or um, the car or whatever else the Monopoly characters are. That's what's happening here. The illusion is the game. It's the rolling the dice, picking the cards, going to jail, buying up Boardwalk and Park Place and buying other people's property. That's all the illusion. And the more that we are caught up in that illusion, like, oh, the great reset or all these things that are happening, it's part of the game. We're going to recognize we're in it. We're going to recognize we're being poisoned. We're going to recognize that there's, you know, massive amounts of manipulation, mind control, dark, evil shit happening all over the planet as part of the Monopoly game. But if you don't realize you're a character in the game, you'll never break free. So the little choo-choo can go around and be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe Boardwalk, these people are so corrupt. Oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. Oh my god, I cannot believe that I'm having to go to jail again, and this is so not good, and this is wrong, and these people." You're still in the illusion, my friend. All right, you know how the whole game works. Bravo. Do you realize that you are not the character? That is the next level that humanity is awakening into. And most of us are not choosing this. This is what evolution is. It's a natural process of evolving into new ways of being on a planet or a Monopoly game, which means the frequency of the on the Monopoly game is increasing, which means the frequency of each little character, the choo-choo train or the car or whatever, is increasing. And when that happens, the light gets brighter. When that happens, not only does the character realize that they're standing on a board, not only do they realize that they've been lied to, manipulated, coerced, controlled, but then they start recognizing, as the light increases on the planet, the natural process of evolution is for the one that thought it was the character, it starts to go inward more and more. And it says, holy shit. I have been believing that I am the choo-choo train. What the fuck? And then the laughing Buddha arises because it's laughing. It's like, holy shit, I've been playing this. It's one thing to be like, I'm in a game and I'm playing this game and, but you still don't realize you're a character. You can realize you're in a matrix. Big deal. You can realize all the corruption and chaos. Big deal. Thanks, Janelle. But can you embody spirit? That's what we're doing here. That's what you're doing. And the game, the Monopoly game, damn, it's so fun. It's like, "Oh, no, tell me more. Oh, no, 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 distract me more." "No, no, 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 no. What else is behind this curtain? Oh my god, what else is coming? Oh, please tell me more." All that does is beautiful entertainment. Fabulous. Holy shit, wait till you go around to Continental Avenue. Wasn't there a Continental Avenue? Wait. What were the light blue ones? What were the light blue ones, you guys? I think it was Continental. Illinois. I know Illinois Avenue was red. I remember red was Illinois, Indiana. What were the light blues? Continental. I'm going to be so excited if somebody knows. But this is about embodying the spirit, Connecticut, Oriental, Continental is light blue. Yes, Continental. Oriental. Yeah, so anyway, that's the Park Place was the dark blue. That was like the high end. And Boardwalk. Oriental, Vermont, Connecticut. Yes, you did it, Amy. You live on Park Avenue in real life. That's awesome. I love New York City. Okay. I don't think it was Carolina. Anyway, you guys, that's what's happening. That is what's happening. Think about life as you walk about your day today, that when you walk outside, you're actually standing on a Monopoly board, and that your physical body is one of those little characters, and that there is something inside that character that is the actual essence of you. And in every moment, it's available through breath, through presence. And then just like that, you get caught up as the character and off you go as, you know, Ariana and Mike and Stardog and Astrid and Susan, right? Off you go, Kendra. You can't help it. Character, you are in the character again. But how often through your day, embodying spirit is recognizing you're on a Monopoly game board that was so divinely designed, it would blow your mind if you remembered. And there is this magical, mystical, what the fuck energy inside of this body called a spirit, which is an aspect or a spark of God essence, which nobody can describe. Nobody knows where it resides because it doesn't reside anywhere. And the actual profound, humble awareness of that. This isn't spirituality. This is just awareness of who we are. Like, we all have the exact same spark of consciousness inside of us. Plays out differently, different characters, but it's exactly the same. It's an absolute truth. And it's profound when you actually sit with that awareness. When you realize that beyond your breath, there is a awareness experiencing all of this. And that awareness sees everything through the eyes of love, perfection. And then what happens? Phew. A bill comes, phone call rings, go on social media, you have to answer something. You've got friendships, family, relationships, children, animals, boom. People telling you what to watch, what to think about, what to fear, what to worry about, all the different chaos. I want you to imagine for a moment that every single time from this point forward, something external is given to you, information, knowledge, stories, whatever it is. And I want you to literally imagine it as something new that you are learning about the Monopoly game. Like, oh, wow, you just turned over a card and it's like, hey, by the way, your government is now going to steal your identities. Wow, you're now not going to be able to travel unless you have a real ID, which is just another way of them being able to completely control you. Holy shit, another part of the Monopoly game, right? Where's spirit in all of this? Because spirit doesn't give a shit. Spirit knows why it incarnated. Your spirit incarnated, not Ariana, Beautiful Truth, Amy, Woyham, Wally, Loretta. That identification didn't incarnate. Your spirit incarnated. And spirit incarnated in order to remember who it is. It's spirit in form. Embody that and then physically express it. Do you want to know what a profound magic that is? That spirit can incarnate into a physical reality and a physical form and be able to physically express itself, all in the illusion that it's something else. That's why you incarnated. That's your purpose first and foremost is to remember that you are spirit incarnated in order to embody it so that you can then express spirit out, just like Jesus did. Express it out through love, kindness, compassion, allowing, surrendering, flow, trust, beingness, not being in control anymore, feeling free, like all the ways that spirit is designed to be in the human body. And then you make you as spirit makes the strongest impact on the planet. That is literally how we are going to change an entire human collective is we embody spirit. Everything else is a distraction. Period. So as long as we're aware, if I talk about my book, right, the divine design and how this happened and how the reptilians did this and how they did these things and then there was a call for light work, all the beautiful things, right, that are in the book or anything else that as long as we realize that that is just information that we are flipping over in the Monopoly game. And that what we're actually here to do is to remember spirit in form and to go forward from that place. Okay, big deal, right? But if we're caught up in that external world so deeply that we forget who we are, it's just going to take a lot longer. We're not here to wake up out of the external illusion, my friends. We're here to wake up out of the internal illusion. And we will start to realize that it is turning your wheels the more you try to wake up out of an external illusion. It's recognizing that you're a choo-choo train, that you're not the choo-choo train, that you're not the little figure. But it sure is fun playing that little figure. Man, what else am I going to learn? Man, what else is going to unravel? What else am I going to be shown? What else is the Monopoly game doing to control me or to manipulate me or to create more fear in my body or to disassociate me from my body? Why do you think there's so much distraction on the planet right now? And why is it getting louder and louder? Because distraction pulls awareness out of spirit. And spirit is your most empowered lens to live through. Right here, right now. Right here, right now. Yeah, the little pawn. Thanks, Heidi. In fact, if you think about the pawns, right? It's like the more we think that we're these pawns, the more we will be the pawns, the more we'll be manipulated and mind controlled and in fear and in stress and in anxiety. You see, this isn't about getting out of the game and not feeling everything. You're going to go around that board over and over and over again. You're going to feel a shit ton, right? That's part of the human experience. This is not about not feeling. This is not about not having, ups and downs and heartbreak and pain and discomfort. And that is just part of Monopoly. Welcome. But the more that you embody, you stay inside the physical body where all of it is felt, you will feel spirit. And when you start feeling spirit more and more, my God, you become a badass. You become an absolute badass when you feel you. When you feel the authentic expression of you, which is spirit, get out of your way. Get out of the way. Here we come. We cannot be stopped. Spirit can't be stopped. Spirit doesn't give a shit. It's like the honey badger. Doesn't give a shit. Get out of my way. That's spirit. It's what we're here to embody. And the only way to do it is to be in the body, feeling everything. And the only way that you do that is you become acutely aware of how you are distracted and looking outward at all of the fun little things and not so fun big things that are on the Monopoly game. And it's very subtle. It's very, very subtle. Everything is simply distracting you. It doesn't matter what information you're digesting. Can you stand in your own pain? Can you stand in your own anxiety and stress? Not your own, it's not yours, but can you be in what is arising and recognize it's not you? Right now, whatever you're going through, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're navigating, whatever thoughts continue to torment you, is there a moment right here, right now, or in some other moment where you can realize, you know what, there is a spirit inside this body that although I cannot freaking feel, I do believe that. And in the meantime, I'm identified with this human character that I am, that I think I've been my whole life, that perhaps I have never been. And maybe, just maybe, this process and journey of awakening is feeling so much, finally, that you accidentally fall backward into the arms of your spirit, which is you, and you realize, holy shit, you trip into the divine essence that you are by courageously standing in everything you're in and no longer running from it, no longer hiding, changing, fixing, trying to get to some new earth 5D, high frequency, good vibe bullshit. Spirit doesn't give a shit about that because it knows it's none of it. It knows the body is vibrating at a frequency that it's going to continue to vibrate at, and it's going to continue to increase. Spirit is just along for the ride. So all the structures that you think you are, that you think you need to be in control of, that thinks it needs to change and fix. Because deep down, you and I are afraid to feel. Because we believe that we are what we're feeling and what we're thinking. So be present, get in the body more and more and more. Watch as much. Just be aware of all the distraction that's going to get louder and louder and louder and louder and louder. And just visualize yourself going in, meaning I'm feeling, I'm feeling, I'm feeling, I'm feeling. What's next? What's arising in my body? What's arising in my body? Authenticity is absolute presence. You know, you're so authentic in what is. You're not hiding, you're not pretending. You know, you're in the uncomfortable, you're in the crunchiness, that's authenticity. You're in the Monopoly game like, holy shit, I just rolled the dice and I rolled a 7 and I'm landed in jail. That's authenticity. I'm scared shitless to be in jail. That's authenticity. I'm afraid to feel this. That's authenticity, right? Whatever's arising is what's arising. and experiencing, expressing it, allowing it is the most vulnerable, authentic place you can be. There you go. That's it. Be the Monopoly. Be the character. Remember, you're the character in the Monopoly game. Spirit inform, spirit inform, spirit inform. Go get my audiobook if you haven't. It will rock your world. It will wake you up. It will rattle you. The audiobook link is down below. Thank you guys for being here. Also, join us in Align 4.0 tomorrow. We start March. We start October 4th. It has the potential to change your life by not changing anything. We have coupons. If you can't afford it, it's $59. We have scholarships. So we want everyone to be able to join. Join us. It's life-changing. Remember, you're the character. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for incarnating. Thanks for being the most miraculous, magical, bright light in your physical body. Remembering over and over again that you are not the body and you are not the character. You are this divine essence that is experiencing the human. What a gift. I love you guys. Like this video if you liked it, like it. Hit the thumbs up. Maybe it will get into the algorithm. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Pass this video on. I'll see you next Tuesday for episode 64. And in the meantime, be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with others. I love you guys so much. Mwah.